it's been 5 days. So yeah, I'm still at the base. And yeah, you know the usual. I guess that's what you do. And smoke some weed.
And it did take 7.5 years. It's a pretty unique place, especially for being in Vermont. It's more something you'd find actually in like Newport, Rhode Island.
Right.
Along
the beach, yep.
I always think it's like Newport threw one of its mansions and it landed here in Vermont.
Yeah.
So that's very unique for that. The place was built for John Johnson and Sarah Robbins. They were the original owners. They actually didn't last here very long. After about 7.5 years, they moved out. He left her and their child and booked it out of town. Was never heard from again. And Sarah Robbins and their child Elliot basically went to Boston and resided there. And the castle was bought and sold numerous times between the first owner and the current owner, which is the Wilson family. Denise Statham is the granddaughter of Colonel Wilson.
Hey, hi Denise.
And Colonel Wilson actually found this place in 1940 for just back taxes that were owed to the town of Proctor. And believe it or not, that was only $12,000.
Damn.
So $200,000. But the original
My daughter,
cost
she's pregnant. She's in the sick bay.
Okay.
In the basically
Right.
school. In this base, she's in the sick bay. Basically, the nurse is treating her.
So, so one thing I want to get clear, because
yeah.
on Atlas Obscura, I read online that the girl, like the husband's wife, died after 3 years here, and then the guy went back to UK. So was that just wrong?
That's totally wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're learning.
Just actually up until probably 6 months ago, we had assumed that she had died, and we didn't know that they actually had a child. And his name was Elliot. He was 11 years old.
And plus, there's no wheels. So that means it's not really good to have incest. It's the end of the world, for fuck's sake. So I can do whatever the fuck I want. If you got a problem with it, then so fucking be it. It's the end of the world, for fuck's sake. There's no wheels, basically.
Right.
You can rape someone and no one cares. You can have incest and no one cares.
Sarah for her money to build this place.
Dang.
And her
Shit.
family found out about it, put financial pressure on him, and when he couldn't take it anymore,
Let's smoke some weed.
So that's the truth now. He was a gold digger. He's a smart man.
And Sarah Robbins was his third wife. He ended up marrying a total of 4 times. But the really unique thing that we found out about Sarah is, first, we've never seen a picture of her. And second, there was no record of anyone in this area or the surrounding towns of ever seeing her.
Right. So that's just like a mystery woman.
Yeah.
Maybe she
There's
never
a lot
did.
of questions, and we're still researching.
Right, of course.
You know, there's a lot of different avenues now that we can look into.
Cool.
Whereas before, I think it was either created for the story or
Word
not.
of mouth.
So they kind of just filled in the blanks.
Right.
Now we're trying to undo that and fill in the right answer.
Right.
Yeah, just 2.5
That's
years
crazy.
to paint the ceilings.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I noticed because I was walking through, I'm like, oh, these ceilings were hand painted. They're chipping now. Like, what does that mean?
Giappini is the artist that laid on his back on the scaffolding to hand paint the rooms.
That's good. Shout out to him. Giappini.
Shout out Giappini.
Yeah, great.
Is Giappini still alive? Probably not. He would be, how old would he be? 145 years old?
Did a lot of back issues.
Oh, damn. Yeah. Because think about it, if he spent 7 years painting, he's going to be like Bent Neck Lady in Conjuring House. I don't know.
No, they were only paid 7.5 cents
Bush.
an hour.
Dang, back in the day.
Yeah, what's up? One of our girls is trapped in the mall with zombies. Can you go rescue her? Sure. Cool. Bring her back safe, boss. I will, trust me. Cause she was sick. See ya. Let's do this shit, I guess. Let's head to the fucking mall. Oh yeah, the gate is this way. The gate is this way, not the other way. It's this way, cunt. See me? Close this door. Let's head to the bloody thingy bob. Let's head to the mall. Be careful, there could be zombies out here. Or walkers, whatever you want to call them. The mall should be down here, basically. Let's do this. Die. 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 Come on, just die already. Die. 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 I need to run, I need to run, I need to run, I need to eat. Eat, eat, eat. Now, let's go back. Die. 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 Die, you motherfucker. Die. 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 I'm immune to the zombie bite. That's why I don't turn to a zombie pretty much. I'm immune to it. Die. 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 Just die already, stupid cunt. Die. Die, you piece of shit. Die. 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 Where is... There he is. Die. Die, 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 die. Die, motherfucker. There we are. Is there any more zombies? Die. 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 Who else? You? Okay. Die, die, die. Die, you motherfucker. Die. Die, 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 you motherfucker. Die. Huh? Who else? Is there any more zombies? Oh, crap. Let me do this very quickly. Let's pretend that this didn't happen. Okay, 3, 2, 1. And go. Action. Who else? Who else want a piece of me? I hear zombies or walkers. Huh? Who else? Who else want a piece of me? Huh? Who else want a piece of me? No one? Good. You can come out now wherever you are. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Okay, let's go back to the crib. I owe you one. God damn you do. God damn. You know what I mean? Right. Yeah. Let's head back to our base. God damn you do owe me one. So boss, what's up? What do you want me to do for a favour? Maybe go out with me and fuck. Sure. Cool. Let's head to our base. Love you. Love you too. So boss, what's your last name? Koija. I'm your sister. Cool. I didn't know I have a sister. Yeah, you do. My mum and dad still alive? Yeah, but they're in California. California haven't been hit with the virus yet. Okay. I know. Let's head back to our base. Here we are. At our base, my dude. Let's chill here. So what's your name? Kirsty? Let's press play on YouTube.
Dude, the Italians knew what they were doing.
They absolutely did.
They're the real MVP.
They were underpaid.
Oh, yeah, they're underpaid, but they had the best art, you know?
So one of our favorite items in the castle, and one of actually Colonel Wilson's favorite items when he was alive, was this music box. And it still does play.
That's incredible. Yo.
God. So it has actually turned on
By itself? No way.
Yeah. It does happen if you kind of stand really close to it. Stuff on it, but if you're not around it and it starts on by itself,
You gotta run.
yeah.
If that happens on itself, I'm running, bro. I'm getting out.
So depending on the time of the season, we'll change the disc to make it spookier in the
Oh, right. That's
whole
cool.
time.
That's cool.
So one of my favorites is the art gallery. It's very, very tall. It's lit by a half. We did find out that there was an art heist that happened here in 1918 where the robbers came up to the basement and cut 17 of the pictures out of their gilded frame. And they, having letter fingertips, were able to kind of research for ourselves and prove some of these discs.
Right.
Yeah, this is out of the four that exist today. This is the coolest thing is it was first shown in Chicago World Exposition. And we did find the picture of the booth from the
Let's have a smoke. Let's have a joint, I mean.
So it's
And then a smoke, and then we fuck. Damn, babe.
from France or Italy. It's actually made in Manhattan.
Yeah.
But it's original to the castle. It uses it out front. They moved it in for fear of vandalism, basically. So it's wasn't bad.
I wonder how much that's worth right now. It's, who knows?
Somebody did want possession of it, but
Right.
they kind of have to give it to them.
I mean, not in California, they're in America. Now, well, we are in Japan. Japan, Australia,
That's gotta be worth like
New Zealand,
maybe to someone who wants to.
Korea.
It's like random, right? You don't know how much it could
all
be.
those got hit by the virus.
If you want to buy it.
From zombie virus, pretty much. But America and some other countries haven't got hit by a virus yet. Okay. So, yeah. Nice. I know what, babe.
We're gonna have to get crazy. This feels like yeah, I could
Hey,
feel
babe.
it, you know, it's like
Yeah.
it's really calm and dark.
Can you make me gag? Sure. Thanks. You're welcome. Love you, babe. Love you too. Christy.
That's something that
So, how old are you, Christy, sister? I am 8 years old. How old are you? 15. Cool. I know. I'm talking out of character for a second. I forgot what year it is. So I'm gonna say it is 2010, basically. Got the character now.
this is where he died. So he died. How did he die? How did he die over there, though? Okay.
They actually think he's still here.
Oh.
So they made connections with him
Yeah.
on the different ghost spirit boxes.
Okay.
The crazy thing is, so maybe 4 or 5 years ago, we had our first really good like paranormal investigation here. We had a couple before then, but it wasn't anything too serious. And we were kind of apprehensive about
Did you know I make my daughter pregnant? Cool. I know. The same thing with you. If we have a daughter, I have to have sex with her at age 1, and if we have a son, you have to have sex with him at age 1. Okay, done.
They were tapping flashlights in the back.
There was there were flashlights that were going off, like,
Wow. Uh-huh.
okay, you ask a question and it would respond.
Yeah.
And these maglets, and I would watch them take them out of a brand new package. I mean, they were brand new batteries, and the lights would dim so much that you would swear they were burning out, or they would get so bright that you would swear that it was like about to burst. And Denise even asked at the end, she was like, are you serious? Like, are they trying to trick us? Are they fooling us? Like, think about it for a second. They're not paying us, we're not paying them.
Yeah.
They're here to validate.
We clean your lot.
Yeah.
We clean your lot in that.
How far do you want me to put my dick inside your pussy? It's up to you. Cool, I'm gonna verify them. Done. Bye.
Not thinking really anything about it. And like 2 days later, I think it might have been John's team came in. And there was a group of 17 of us, and we each went around and asked a question. And I said, what did I find in the bed? And it said, 14. So it was a dime and 4 pennies in my pocket.
And they seen it. Oh.
No one knew.
No one
I
knew,
didn't
but-
even know.
That's creepy.
It was very bizarre.
So we have a lot of stories going on right now. So I'm excited right now too. So like, alright, something's gonna happen. Like I'm excited.
Doors slammed.
Yeah.
No, just 2 weeks ago, the vacuum
Vacuum went off.
turned off by
We're all in
itself.
there in the meeting room. And the vacuum's in here, and that went right on.
Oh
All of us
God.
had each other like,
Sad.
it seems like this is more than
We thought though that it was like an electrical issue, that maybe the extension cord that was plugged in right below there was maybe like loose or something.
I had actually walked over and
Turn it off.
it's actually hard to turn it on.
Can you choke me?
Right.
Sure.
Because
Thanks.
just the next day, and we were all like,
The
did we
footsteps.
just literally witness
The
what we did
footsteps.
yesterday?
Oh my
So
God.
stuff happens so frequently that
Andy,
it's
those
Yeah, you get used to it now.
yeah.
Can I come inside ya?
footsteps.
Sure.
Jumped up
Cool.
to go see who's here, and there's no one here.
Dude, that's like when we heard footsteps in the laundry. That was in the bedroom. We were sitting on the bed, and in the next room. I'll never forget that, dude. I will never forget that.
It was like literally like footsteps. I know exactly how that feels. Like you know you heard it.
Like
You know
you
what it
can
sounds
tell
like.
if they're boots or,
Right.
you know, like you could tell.
Yeah, it's just
So what I'm curious about too is because like I checked online about this place and I learned that there's not too much like ghost people who actually come here, and like this is still kind of like a low key spot that's just like on the uprise. So I feel like we're like, I mean Omar went here. Did any other YouTubers went here besides Omar? So we're like the second YouTubers now who's filming something here. Did you film a YouTube video here? Okay. So John filmed one here too, guys. John has a channel too. So we're the third ones technically to be filming here.
It's great though because like me and you, dude, like we're known for like trying to keep it as real as possible.
Right.
Like for the fact.
Okay, next video. What video should I watch? Fuck off ads. Fuck off, you stupid ads. Next. 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 Do you love anime? Yes, I love anime. Cool. Love you. Love you too, babe. Can I call you Daddy? Sure. Thanks, Daddy, babe. You're welcome. Yeah, why not?
Offer your customers local fish.
Let's watch this animation story. Fuck off, ads.
Hi, my name is Cindy,
There you
and I
are.
am about to tell you a really strange story about my life. But before I go on, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any more awesome videos. We were a small, happy family with all the love that anyone could want, all the happiness anyone could dream about. We had a big house with maids and servants and a business that was going in profit. Accidents in life are common, but I had a major one. One day, I was at the mall with my mom, dad, and my sister. Mia was 2 years older than me, but we were such close friends that we shared everything with each other. My dad left us at the mall, saying, "I will be back soon. I have to meet someone urgently." "Come back soon, Dad," I said. It was the last thing I said to my real dad. He never came back, and thinking about that day makes me sad. I wish I had said more. I wish I had given him a big hug or a kiss. But what can we do after the time has passed? Time never comes back and never stops for anyone. One who is living must pass these hurdles of life and keep living their lives. It would have been a lot easier if my mom had not got married to my friend's dad. No, don't think of my mom as a bad woman. My
Let's have a
father's brother was
smoke and
also
then we'll
rich
fuck.
and worked under my
Damn.
father, but our business was going down after my father passed away. Bills were unpaid, salaries of the employees were late, and the mother had no money to buy the raw materials. It was all going to hell, and suddenly he turned up as a savior. He was Superman to me when he saved us and the business from bankruptcy. My mother fell for his kindness, and they got married. Doesn't sound bad to you now, right? Well, that is not what I wanted to tell you. This was just the starter for the story. My new father came to our house for a living, and he was very kind to all of us. He would flirt with Mother all day, and when she was not around, he would sit with us. It was not long when I noticed his intentions were a little different from us. My sister was fat, and she did not have much confidence in herself. Everyone would call her fat, and she would get stressed and start stress eating. It was a never-ending circle for her. She was stuck in that limbo. Our
So
stepdad
what
asked her to practice
if
sports
you're
and
fat?
yoga in the house for her body. It is
You
very
be
good for
you.
health, and you will start to lose those extra pounds from your body really soon, he said. I thought he was genuinely concerned about us as his daughter, until one day I passed by the gym room and saw him sitting there with my sister. My sister was wearing a tight gym suit, and her curves were visible to some extent. No dad would sit in such condition with their daughter. It rang a bell in my brain. Something
I
was
would.
not right about him. My six senses were banging hammers in my brain, and I had to get to the end of his intentions. My sister started stretching for exercise, and he was looking at her back. Yes, you heard right. It was pretty big, and he was looking at her like a hungry lion.
So
He
what?
stood up.
You're her.
These videos are from the past. Like before
And
the
slapped my sister.
zombie apocalypse happened. If these people live in America, then yeah, it's from there. But here, we can do whatever the fuck we want. We can rape someone, we can have incest. There's no rules here. It's zombie apocalypse. It's basically survival of the fittest here.
My eyes were opened like an owl, and I was in shock. I
But in
thought
other
my sister would
countries,
react on
what
this
haven't
and
been
would slap him
affected
on-
yet, they have to follow the normal rules. But here, there is no rules. There's no government here, in Japan, in China, or anything like that. Like, everywhere is abandoned, basically. So, yeah, the zombie apocalypse out here. Survival of the fittest. So, yeah, you can do what the fuck you want out here, pretty much. In these countries, what, you know, got affected because of the COVID virus. What turned into zombies. Turn people into zombies. I'm talking out of character for a minute. In this universe, COVID is really bad. Like it turns you into zombies, pretty much. So, yeah. There is A-type COVID, B-type COVID, C, you know, every single letter COVID. The Z COVID turns you into a basically immortal zombie. You cannot die. Those zombies are to be avoided at all cost, otherwise you will die. I'm going to character now.
Face, but she smiled at him. This made me really worried. He was a predator, looking for lonely girls and taking advantage of them. From that day onwards, I knew what I had to do. I was keeping an eye on them and what they were doing all day when Mom is not home. One time,
Yeah, what?
he came into her bedroom, and while she was sitting at her desk,
So
started
what?
rubbing her shoulders, and she also didn't react. It made me so angry. After my stepdad
If she
went
was
out of her
here,
way, I went to
then
her
so
and asked
what?
her,
But if
what did he want?
if
He
she
was
lives
scared
in
and
America,
wanted to help me, and my
then
stepdad
fair
was
enough,
short
because
right
they have to
and
follow
seemed so happy.
rules. But
I was
here,
so confused,
in these
so I did
countries,
not
what,
confront her
COVID
with what he
effect?
did. One
No,
night,
there's
Mom went to
no
sleep
rules.
earlier than usual, and he and my sister
So-
were watching a movie. They were holding hands like lovers, and it was not comfortable for me to see this. He was taking advantage of my sister's low confidence, and he was playing the right cards to get her. He always showed to our mom that he is a good caretaker after leaving us with him, and he knows how to handle us both. The next morning,
Are
my mom
you
left
ready,
for the
Daddy,
office. He
babe?
took a leave from office. I knew
Yep.
he had something in
Cool.
his mind, and I wanted to know. He had arranged a pool party for himself with my sister in a short dress that he bought for her. Was she wearing a bikini with Dad? Yes, I was shocked too, and I was looking from the window what he was doing with her. He was hugging her, playing with her underwater. I could see everything and do nothing. The weird part? My sister was enjoying it. Yes, she was into this with him, but she was innocent, and she had no idea what he was doing to her. I had to stop
Sure.
him and become a wall between them so he could stop using my sister as her escort. After 2 days, the same thing happened again. The pool party. Yes, they were again enjoying their lives in the pool, but not this time. I went to be with them. Can I join you both? I asked. Sure, he replied with a weird smile. It looked like he was waiting for me to get into his trap. But I knew what he was doing, so I went in with confidence. We ended up playing volleyball in the pool. Suddenly, I pulled my shoulder muscle. I shouted with pain, and he came running to rescue me. He took me out of the pool. I was in his arms.
I can't believe you're doing this.
Why? I like you.
You hate me. You always have.
Maybe.
I went to save my sister, and now I was in his arms. He started rubbing my shoulder. He told me the benefits of this massage, that it is good for blood flow, and it relaxes the muscles and brings a glow to your face. I was listening to him when his hands went a little down than my shoulder. He was rubbing my hip joint. He was a few inches away from my hips. Then he took his hand in front. He said it would help me save from breast cancer. I knew what he was doing, so I stood up and went inside without saying anything. A few days passed in anger, and I was afraid of telling all this to my mother. He was waiting for a chance to touch my body again, but I was not giving him any. In the meantime, he was using my sister as much as he wanted, and I was not coming between them because the last time I tried, I ended up being the victim of his evil thoughts. One night, my sister and my mother were sleeping, and he was in the hall. He was sitting alone as I came to drink water. Would you like to watch a movie with me? He asked. I was too afraid of saying no, and I thought he is asking nicely, so I said yes and went to the couch he was sitting on. He started the movie, and it had some intimate scenes. He came closer to me, but I ignored him. After a while, his snacks were finished, so he put his hand in mine. He had to come closer to get snacks. I thought I was coming closer for snacks. I got goosebumps. He did not remove his hand. I felt uncomfortable with this. I was afraid that if I insulted him, my mother and sister would wake up. He thought that I wanted him to continue because I did not say anything. After some time, I was shocked after he put his hand where he definitely shouldn't. I stood up and made a little distance from him. Oops, my hand slipped. I did not want to do this, he said. I could not say anything. He laughed after that, making it normal for him, and I relieved him. When the movies finished, I stood up. Thank you for watching movies with me, he said. Good night, I replied, but I could see wet pants. He was doing all this to me intentionally, and the proof was in front of me. He was all wet down there, and he was smiling at me as if nothing happened. I could not say anything. I went up, and I didn't sleep that night, and I was thinking about telling my mom, but I was afraid she wouldn't believe me. The next morning, I told my mom what he was doing to my sister and me. You are a small, sweetie. He is a good guy. You remember when he helped us financially when we were in trouble. He is a good father. You should give him a chance, my mother replied. I went to my sister and asked her to confess to Mom what her new father did to her. She denied going with me. He loves me and makes me feel good. I am happy with him, and he takes good care of my needs, my sister replied. I was shocked at her reply. I felt insecure with this and made my mind that I would prove him guilty and show his real evil face to our mom. I started recording him playing with my sister and doing the evil acts. If you want to know what happened with my recordings and what I did with them, then stay tuned for part 2.
My mom forced me.
make her watch this story.
Hello, my name is Victoria, and I'm going through a real problem. I don't know what to do, but before I go on, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell.
So you
Jack,
don't.
we were a happy family and did everything together. We laughed, watched movies on Friday night, and all that kind of cheesy stuff. I was so happy, and I know my brother had a great childhood too. But apparently not everything was as great as we thought it was. You see, my dad began feeling really old when he turned 40. It was like a switch was pressed and everything changed. He got a convertible, began dressing like he was a teenager, and got a new secretary. Mom didn't like this one bit. What's worse, Dad didn't come home as often any longer. He always told us he was working late, and of course, I believed him. But Mom seemed so mad. "Why are you mad, Mommy?" Jack would ask. "Dad says he's working really hard so we can have nice things." My mom would nod and go on with whatever it was she was doing before we got Dad's call. But bit by bit, she seemed to resent Dad, and this made the situation at home so tense. Well, the thing is, Dad was doing something he shouldn't have been doing. Yeah, you guessed it, that beautiful secretary he hired. Mom caught them red-handed in his office. I bet you wonder how that happened. Well, one of those nights Dad called saying he had a meeting, Mom had enough.
If you want, you
She
can be
called
my
one of her best friends to
secretary
babysit for us and
for
left
my
in a hurry.
game.
Jack
Done.
didn't get what was going
Bye.
on. He was too young to understand, but I knew what would happen. Dad wasn't exactly smart about his affair. The next thing we knew, Mom was throwing Dad's clothes out the window and selling his golf clubs for a bargain. Dad was so embarrassed, but in the end, he moved out and got a place with his secretary. Mom doesn't allow us to go there, obviously, and Dad's too focused on his new girlfriend to care. It's messed up. The thing is, my mom was super depressed for a long while. I hated seeing her that way. Every time Dad came to pick us up, Mom got upset. So I began refusing to go downstairs whenever he was around. And since I didn't sleep at his new place, that meant I barely saw my father any longer. But after a year went by, Mom began slowly opening up again. She met this guy at the library, a super sweet and smart man. He was older than Mom and was divorced just like she was. At first, they only got coffee once in a while, but bit by bit, she seemed to grow to like him. His name was Adam, and he really seemed to care about my mom. When my brother and I got to meet him, we hit it out right away. He was so sweet and loved books, so we spoke about that for a long time. He also enjoyed soccer, which won Jack over so fast. Anyway, I was happy my mom was dating again. That was until we got to meet Adam's son, Eric. Oh, Eric. He was the meanest, most annoying, and entitled brat I ever had to endure. He was about 21 and thought his dad still had to pay for everything. Eric still lived at home and clearly wasn't planning on moving out. I didn't like him one bit, and neither did Jack. But since we only had to deal with him every once in a while, we just kept our mouths shut and ignored him. The thing is, it didn't take long for Adam to propose to Mom, and much to my horror, she said yes. I would have been happy to have Adam as my stepdad, had it not been for his son from hell. Eric was the kind of guy who thought he owned everything in a room, even if it wasn't even his
You'll never believe what my girlfriend and I did last night. We wanted to spice things up, so instead of Netflixing
place. He grabbed the best portions of lunch, grabbed the remote control right off my hands, and kept my little brother from playing to his PlayStation. He was always bragging about all the dates he had and how expensive his clothes were. His dad was the one who paid for everything because he didn't want to work. So why did he feel proud of wearing designer shirts and pants? He also thought he was so good looking and flirted with every single woman he saw. We would be at a restaurant and he'd embarrass us by asking the waitress out. And when she said no, he kept insisting, making it super awkward. So knowing that I'd be sharing a house with him 24/7 seemed like a nightmare. I tried to talk to my mom about it, but she wouldn't listen. Eric's your brother now, so you have to get to like him, she told me. I was baffled. What's worse, Mom always seemed to take Eric's side. She really liked him and laughed at all his silly jokes. I guess she just wanted her fiancé's son to accept her into the family, but I still didn't like it one bit. Even though I hated our new living arrangements, Mom seemed so happy that I decided it was best to just go with it. She had been so miserable since Dad cheated, and she deserved a chance to be with a man who really appreciated her. The problem was, Adam was a really busy businessman. I know what you're thinking. He must have cheated on my mom too, right? Wrong. Adam was the sweetest guy. He'd never do anything of the sort to my mother. He truly did love her. It was my mom who messed everything up. You see, Adam had to leave for a long business trip and would be out of the country for 3 whole months. At first, everything seemed normal, but after a few days, Mom began asking me to babysit Jack more and more often. She'd come home late, accompanied by Eric. I didn't understand what was going on at first, but soon I managed to put 2 and 2 together. They were so close and always laughed and chatted like they were best friends. It was odd, especially the way he hugged her. I tried to convince myself that it was all in my mind. Surely I was just seeing things because I didn't like Eric. I just wanted another excuse to hate him. One night, though, I went out with my best friends. We were watching this silly movie at the theater when I noticed a couple of few rows down were making out. My friends and I began laughing at how lame they were until I realized it was my mom, smooching with her stepson Eric. I was so shocked, and they didn't even notice I was there. Oh my God, how could my mother be doing something like that? Adam was a great husband, and she took really good care of all of us. He truly cared about my mom, and she was not only cheating, but messing around with his son. It was so icky. I wanted to confront my mom, but didn't know how to do it, so I kept putting it off, always finding an excuse not to do it. The day I finally decided I need to tell my mom to put a stop to her affair, something unexpected happened. Mom fainted while cooking dinner. I was so worried, believe me, and immediately called an ambulance. Mom was rushed to the ER, and I wondered if I was going to lose her forever. I was so scared. When the doctor examined her, though, she told us that she wasn't sick at all. In fact, he had great news. She was pregnant. I couldn't believe it. The doctor said she was about 2 months along, and my mom stared at me the minute we were alone. "I'm 3 months along, darling," she lied, but I had heard the truth only seconds before. The doctor must have gotten the dates wrong. Oh no, I couldn't believe it. This wasn't Adam's child. She had gotten pregnant by Eric. My stepdad rushed home when he heard about Mom being in the hospital, and he was so happy about the child he was going to have. He was so in love with my mom, and it completely broke my heart. How could she do that to him when she knew exactly how it felt to be cheated on? I'm now so confused and honestly don't know what to do. I mean, if I tell Adam the truth, my mom will never forgive me. And I don't want to end up on the street or go live with my dad and his secretary. But can I really just keep...
This one.
Hi, my name is Annie, and I come from a super poor family. Unfortunately, we didn't have much growing up, and everything seemed to be a struggle. But before I go on, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any more awesome videos. Mom stayed at home taking care of me and my baby sister, Lacey. She was great to us, and I was truly so thankful we went without eating so we could have a bigger meal. Dad worked super long hours, always busy. He was barely at home, which made me miss him so much. But how could I blame him? He was paid minimum wage at a local restaurant. To get more money for his family, he usually had to take us on double shifts and barely had any free time at all. Most of the time, he was at home. Dad slept heavily. Mom didn't let us wake him up, even though my sister and I really wanted to play with him. What little money we had left after rent was paid would go to cover our bare necessities. Toys and birthday cakes were rarely, if ever, a thing in my house. I really felt bad for my family and tried my best to help my mom and dad in whatever way I could. I did my bed from a really early age, cleaned the dishes, and babysat my sister when Mom was busy. Anything I could do to make my parents' load more tolerable was worth the effort. Of course, we never ever took a vacation. I didn't know the beach, and I had never visited any mountain. I wanted so badly to take a long trip and imagine myself getting on a plane and traveling abroad often, but it was never going to happen, or so I thought back when I was a teenager. Everything changed after high school ended, and I began working at the same restaurant my dad was a cook at. I wanted to give them back some of what they did for me after all, so it was important that I began working right away. All my coworkers were super friendly, and I got along great with them. It was fun to get to know new people, and most customers were relatively nice. There were some mean or rude ones, sure, but they were gone before they could make me feel too uncomfortable. My favorite coworker was Sam. At first, we were just friends. Since he was closest to my age, we hung together often. But bit by bit, we began growing closer, going on dates and having an amazing time. He took me out to the movies once, and that was when we shared our first kiss. Sam was not only handsome, but also so kind and smart. He worked at the restaurant to pay his way through college and was determined to make something of himself. I found it so inspiring. It didn't take long for me to fall madly in love with him. I was certain we would go the distance, and I already pictured getting married one day. I hope my mom and dad approved of him. One day, though, something unexpected happened. This wealthy older man asked for a table in my sector. He apparently had seen me before and had taken a liking to me. I was okay with that since it meant a bigger tip and was super friendly all through my shift. Honestly, I didn't think too much of it. Not until a few nights later when I was woken up by my mom and dad whispering in the living room. It was odd for Dad to be awake that late, so I got curious and tried to listen to what they were talking about. Much to my shock, I realized Dad was telling my mom about that older guy and how he had really fancied me. Apparently, he wanted a much younger wife and didn't want to go through the hassle of dating. He just wanted to arrange a quick marriage and have children soon. He had worked his entire life and now it was time to enjoy his personal life as well. He's offering so much money for us to convince Annie to marry him, Dad told Mom, and I could barely breathe. That would solve their problems and give my sister a chance at going to college. I was so confused and didn't know what to say, or if I should interrupt them. Instead, I decided to keep listening. Much to my shock, Mom didn't tell my dad he was insane for even considering it. She seemed to agree that it was messed up, but that it would be such a good opportunity for me to have a better life and for them to solve their money problems once and for all. So my dad picked up the phone and called that man. I didn't even know his name. It was insane. I heard as he told him they agreed and that they'd convinced me to get married to him. I couldn't believe it. I curled up in my bed, closing my eyes tight and trying my best not to begin crying. I was in love with Sam. I wanted to marry him, just not right now. I was too young for any of that. And now I was going to walk down the aisle with a random older man and give up on my dreams for a future with a guy I adored. The following morning, Mom walked into my room looking so guilty. I knew what was coming and didn't know how to react. Annie, listen. I need to talk to you about this amazing opportunity one of your customers is offering us. She began tentatively, and I listened quietly as she tried to convince me to get married to someone I didn't know anything about. The truth of the matter was, I really didn't want to have anything to do with him. I knew all the sacrifices Mom and Dad had done for us and didn't want them to have to struggle any longer. So I reluctantly agreed, feeling so bad about the whole thing. I had to call Sam and dump him over the phone because I simply couldn't look into his eyes as I broke the news. Oh, he got so mad, started screaming that this was an insane plan and that I should just say no. Your parents are using you, Annie. You deserve better. Just walk out right now and come live with me and we can have an amazing future.
Let's head into my room. Done. My room is here. Nice room? I know. Let's do this, Daddy babe. Done. Okay. Let's head outside now, I guess. It's the next day. She went out, go supply hunting, while I stay here at my base with my army. So, yeah.